Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We are cutting right through the noise today to give you a super practical, absolutely no fluff guide to home maintenance and handyman rates for 2026. You know, if you own a custom property out in San Diego County, especially in semi-rural spots like Bonsall, keeping up with maintenance can honestly feel like a full-time job. So today, we're breaking down the exact numbers, the unique challenges of custom builds, and the absolute most efficient ways to manage your property without wasting your time or your hard-earned money. Okay, let's dive right into this. We've got a great lineup today. We're covering 2026 handyman rates, why custom homes and outbuildings need a totally different approach, the inland climate effect, the top 5 local handyman jobs, and finally, exactly when you need to call a handyman versus a general contractor. All right, Section 1, 2026 handyman rates. We are putting the bottom line right up front today. Because your time is super valuable, let's just get straight to the numbers. For 2026, the hourly rate for smaller, one-off handyman tasks across San Diego County is firmly set between $90 and $130 an hour. Now keep in mind, this usually comes with a minimum service call fee of about $120 to $180. So if you just have one single small fix, that hourly rate plus the fee is exactly what you should expect to pay. But now what's really interesting about this slide is where the economics completely flip. Flat rate bundles. Grouping your tasks together is just a massive advantage. So a standard flat rate visit that covers, say, 4 to 6 items, that runs between $400 and $800. Scale that up to a full property visit of 8 to 12 items, and you're looking at $850 to $1,800. And for major catch-up work, like a 2-day mobilization covering 20 or more items, that ranges from $1,700 to $3,400. The absolute best part about this, you get a written quote before the work even starts that completely saves you from standing there anxiously watching the clock tick on an hourly rate. Moving right along to Section 2, custom homes and outbuildings, or what we like to call the Bonsall difference. If you're living out in a rural area like Bonsall, with those gorgeous 1 to 5 acre parcels and custom builds, the scope of repair work is literally a whole different ballgame compared to a standard suburban neighborhood. Standard tract home repair is often just a matter of swapping out parts with whatever you can grab off the shelf at a big box store. But custom repairs, they demand premium materials, specialty millwork, and meticulous finish matching. You can't just slap a generic piece of hardware on a beautifully crafted custom door, right? It takes an expert to carry samples, photograph the existing trim profiles, and sometimes even order custom milling, just so the repair is essentially invisible. And because these properties are so expansive, we really need to understand this concept of full property mobilization. This basically means a single visit that covers the main residence, plus detached garages, barns, and equipment buildings, all on one written quote. Booking the house and the equestrian outbuildings together on the exact same clock is significantly faster and way cheaper per item than scheduling totally separate trips for every single structure. It's really just the smartest way to handle large parcel maintenance. Section 3, the inland climate effect. We're talking sun, heat, and dry rot. Inland San Diego weather absolutely batters custom home exteriors. I mean, summers regularly push 95 to 100 degrees, which are then followed by really cold winter nights. That extreme temperature swing is just brutal on a house. And one major consequence of this is dry rot. That's wood decay that happens where exterior wood has held moisture. Thanks to that super dry inland air, followed by sudden moisture cycles, dry rot, failing siding seams, and cracked stucco are just harsh, everyday realities for rural outbuildings and custom exteriors around here. Because of these crazy extremes, standard materials, they just won't cut it. Semi-rural properties practically demand essential upgrades. For example, you have to use caulking specifically rated for extreme inland temperatures, otherwise it'll just crack and fail after a single summer. Plus, living in these areas carries a moderate fire risk. That means your exterior wood, trim, and outbuilding repairs really require fire-conscious material choices to ensure maximum safety and, of course, longevity. Let's move to Section 4 and see how this all builds together. These are the top 5 handyman jobs, the most common repairs in inland San Diego. Coming in at number 1, custom finish matching and trim repair. Like we touched on earlier, original trim profiles demand exact matching through specialty suppliers. If you want to maintain the value of a custom home, there are absolutely no cheap substitutions allowed here. Number 2 is full property outbuilding repair. This covers the constant, never-ending need for barn door hardware adjustments, fence rail fixes, and wood touch-ups on equipment buildings. It's just inevitable when you're managing multi-acre parcels. Number 3, sticking door and weather stripping repair. Remember that drastic temperature swing we just talked about? It literally causes wood doors to expand and bind right against the jamb. Having a pro come out to plane those doors down and renew the heat-rated weather stripping is actually the most common single call professionals receive out in these areas. Number 4 is exterior caulk and stucco patching. The intense heat cycle actively bakes and breaks down sealants, and it cracks the stucco all over the property. Because of this, professional patch and match work is just a constant necessity to protect the home's outer envelope. And wrapping up our top 5 list is fixture updates. This is mostly inside the residence. There's a steady, ongoing request for swapping out dated light fixtures, upgrading ceiling fans, and refreshing bathroom hardware, just to keep the interior looking every bit as premium as the exterior. Now, because these top 5 items pop up so constantly, I love this quote. Most homeowners book several of these at once, which is where a flat-rate full property visit pays off. Grouping these tasks together is honestly the ultimate strategy for efficient, cost-effective property management. All right, Section 5. Handyman versus general contractor, knowing exactly who to call. So the crucial point here all comes down to a specific legal threshold in California, $500. Once a single job's labor and materials total $500 or more, California legally requires you to use a licensed contractor. It is so vital to ask about licensing and get the work in writing for literally anything crossing this threshold. To make the distinction perfectly clear, a handyman is your absolute go-to for fast, efficient, punchless work. Think door adjustments, fixture swaps, and small drywall or stucco patches. On the flip side, a general contractor is strictly for large-scale, permitted structural projects and full home remodels. Honestly, most of your ongoing maintenance is going to fall squarely in the handyman territory, which is great because it's both faster and cheaper. If you are ready to finally knock out that punch list, here are the absolute best practices for same-week booking. First, call or use the pro's contact form online. Second, explicitly describe the repair type and exactly where it is on the property. Third, provide photos. This is key for getting a preliminary quote over the phone. Oh, and a great bonus for residents in areas like the Vista Valley Country Club or the San Luis Rey River Valley, reputable local pros usually do not charge mileage surcharges to come out to you. Which leaves us with one final, very important thought to wrap up this explainer. Is your weekend fix-it list ready for a pro? Seriously, your time is incredibly valuable. Rather than spending your entire weekend fighting with sticking doors and cracked stucco, maybe it's time to group those tasks together, lock in a flat-rate quote, and actually reclaim your weekend. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go out there and enjoy your weekend.